everybody, welcome to Truck Trends. It's Eric at Nutmeg Truck Center up in Hartford, 130 Brainerd Road. A little bit different format this week. I got a special guest. I want to introduce Craig Judge. Craig, welcome to Truck Trends. How are you, brother?
Thanks, pal.
Good, good. I want to ask a couple questions, all right? You are the sales manager and the director of business development at Nutmeg, but I had a few questions for you that I think shed some nice light on the truck industry, but I wanted a perspective from a sales manager, director of business development's opinion. All right, do me a favor, okay? Now, question number one, how has marketing changed in the truck industry in, let's say, the last 5 years?
Oh, 5 years. We went from a very traditional type of marketing where we had some trade publications. There's Truck Paper, Commercial Truck Trader, Truck and Equipment Post. And those are papers or magazines that come out once a month. And if you were in the truck business, that's what you had to do. You had to put yourself out in those papers because buyers would buy them at the convenience store and they would look through them and see who was near me or who had what I needed, and they would pick through that. And the trend started years and years before that to go a little bit more digital. Everybody had to have a website, and you had to make sure that your inventory was on that website. And you wanted to build the traffic to your website to the point where if somebody searched for, a 15,000 GVW dump truck, if you had that they would find you. The two things have kind of merged, where those traditional paper format companies have gone digital, and that's where their focus is on now. And in fact, a couple of those companies have completely gone away with their paper versions. They don't even exist anymore. I think Truck Paper still has one. Truck and Equipment Post does. Truck Trader, to the best of my knowledge, does not have a print version anymore. It's strictly digital.
Do you find with website marketing stuff, the horizon of potential customers, has that expanded outside of the state? I mean, has it broadened your...
Oh, yeah, the market... Look, if your focus is on your AOR, if your focus is on a 20-mile radius or 50-mile radius, or if you're one of the kind of old school companies that still has these territories, they've put you at a huge disadvantage.
Really?
Yeah, you really have to market at least regionally, and optimally you want to market nationally.
Yeah, but you're now getting more phone calls. We're getting leads from multiple states.
Everywhere.
Right? Yeah, multiple states.
Everywhere. I've gotten leads from, so we're based in Connecticut. The last week I've gotten leads from West Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, upstate New York, Vermont.
Wow.
So, the approach is we want to market nationally. The expectation is that because of logistics, we're going to probably narrow that down to more of a regional customer.
Right. But when somebody says your territory in Connecticut, the eastern part or southern part, that's thrown out the window.
Territories are interesting. Territories are great if you're going out and you're going to knock on doors or you're going to market. Okay, so if you're a sales guy and you're in Boston, obviously you want to go out and knock on doors in your regional area. But from a dealership marketing perspective, you've got to really open the door. Right. You can't build walls around your business. You can't do that. The reality is that these days customers expect the Amazon experience.
Sure.
They want to go on their phone, click a couple times, find what they want,
turnkey ready.
Decide I'm making a purchase decision, make that decision, and want that transaction to be very seamless, very smooth, and have that product either show up at their door in a given amount of time or to go pick it up and bring it back.
That's awesome.
And dealerships and sales guys that are not thinking in those terms, you're going to be done in 2 years.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful. Question number two, Craig. You're in a position as a director of business development to, hire prospective salesmen. Let me ask you a question. What skill sets, nobody grows up looking to be a truck salesman, but what skill sets are you looking for that you think can make someone successful in the truck industry?
That's actually changed a lot in the last 5 to 10 years. It used to be I would typically only hire guys that had been in the business, that knew the industry, that had product knowledge. That's really changed. I've learned over time that product knowledge is something, if you work for a good manufacturer, that together with your manufacturer as partners, you can groom and you can teach people that product knowledge. But the ability to communicate with customers, the ability to network, the ability to, like you are, to be visible 24/7. I find those skills to be much more valuable because I can't teach somebody how to be a networker. I can teach them GVWs and I can teach them wheelbases. And I can teach them industries and what their hot buttons are. But that ability to relate to an end user is something you cannot teach. I have some of the worst hiring decisions I've made have been based on resume.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I've had some guys that were in the business for a long time, and on paper, man, they were superstars. But put them in a trade show or put them on the phone with a customer that needed that from a salesman, and that's not how they worked. It was a disaster. So I've gone more from a product knowledge base to a marketing and networking base, knowing that I can build upon that.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. Third question for you: as you know, we have an ever-changing industry. Where do you see the truck industry in the next 3 to 5 years?
Can't answer it. I can't tell you where it's going to be in 6 months.
Really? That much?
Geopolitically, things change at a moment's notice. Hurricanes happen. Technology changes, not just from a product standpoint, and it is changing rapidly. I can tell you, I went to the NTEA show, National Truck Equipment Association show in Indianapolis this year, and I was kind of stunned by the amount of displays and booths and manufacturers that had brought electrified product to the show. Because currently in the marketplace, there's no mass market electric trucks around. You know, I know that Musk is talking about electric, and you know, not just Tesla, but there's a truck manufacturer called Nikola that's talking about electric, and they've got all these grand plans. But you could see behind the scenes that people are thinking electric. What the practical application of that is, I don't know. I saw chassis that were set up there with banks of batteries. So far, from what I understand, that technology has been limited by battery. Battery capacity has been the limiting factor. But look at the computer industry and how it doubles every month or 2 months or whatever it is. If you take that same trajectory and you apply it to the truck industry, you know, maybe electric makes sense 6 months from now. I don't know. We may be all driving horse and buggy again in a year.
Perfect.
Beats me.
Let's go buy some hay.
So I try not to think too far into the future. I try to look at, okay, 6 months, here's where I got to be. A year from now, here's where I need to be. And make sure I'm on top of that. If I start thinking 5 years out, I may be prepared for that 5-year horizon, but I'm going to miss everything that happens between now and then.
That's great. That's a great theory. I want to finish this segment something a little different here. I want to call it rapid fire. I'm going to ask him a couple questions.
My thing.
Well, we're going to do it anyway, but he doesn't know the questions, so I'm going to give it to you. You ready?
No.
You ready?
No, I'm not. But yeah, I'm
going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Fire away.
Favorite sports athlete?
God, I hate to say this, Tiger Woods.
Perfect. Favorite rock and roll group of all time for you?
In what genre?
No, 80s.
You too.
YouTube? Wow, that's awesome.
Not YouTube.
Oh,
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, I saw them at Madison Square Garden once.
There you go.
Favorite Barney Miller episode?
Mushy mushy.
Now, for you folks out there, Google Mushy Barney Miller. And
that was where the whole precinct had gotten a hold of hash brownies. And they all got stoned. And
yeah. Well, good. That's good. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you for coming on Truck Trends. I appreciate your time. This is a segment we do every week, but we try to be value added to the not only the truck industry, but the sales industry in general. But Craig's a special guest. He's actually the Director of Business Development up at Nutmeg Truck Center in Hartford, 130 Brandon Road. Give him a call sometime. Quite knowledgeable in Suzu trucks and the industry. And thank you very much for your time.
The guru, right?
The guru. Thank you. And if you're ever around Colchester on Friday nights, I want to thank Gianni Fasano. He's the proprietor of the Connecticut Cigar Lounge in Colchester. So thank you, Gianni. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, brother.
Bye-bye.